In this video I'm going to show you guys how I painted a Merry Christmas watercolor piece. I did this video a while ago, but I still really like it, so I've decided to turn it into a video. Since I did this a while ago, I've probably changed a little bit, like mixed up my styles and techniques a bit. I'm pretty sure I actually use watercolor pencils in this as well, so it's not going to be as vibrant as my other pieces that I do that are watercolor. In this I'm using, I think, 300 GSM paper, watercolor paper warm from memory, and I am currently using a Cool Erase color pencil. Nowadays I actually use watercolor pencils as my line work pencils for watercolor because I find that you don't get any trace of your previous line work by doing that. So you kind of get like they're just temporary guideline lines rather than having them show through your painting later down the track. So normally I would recommend for you to start with the base character, so the character that's at the back, and move your way to the front, but I got kind of excited about painting the character that was in the front because I just really like the look of this character. Yeah, so I didn't do it in the right order, but you get the general idea. I just kind of place some shadows and then build up from that. What I'm using for this is black ink. I had some black ink left over from when I used to tattoo, so it's probably not the right ink you would use. It's tattoo ink, but I find that if you water it down it gets some cool tones and stuff like that. So I've just been using that, probably will until I run out. Then I started filling places in with colour pencil, like watercolour pencil. I was kind of aiming for it not to be super vibrant, but still kind of have like a little bit of a colour pop. And from there I just started building it up with the watered down ink and watercolour pencils when I felt like I could add some colour here and there. It's just, yeah, I guess that's really it. Anyone that's done watercolour before kind of knows it's more of a layering game, if anything. And whilst you're watching me kind of just layer over and over and over again, I can tell you guys why I decided to paint these characters. And it was actually just purely for the fact that I really liked the character design. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm a bit of a Tim Burton fan as well, but yeah, I guess I just really thought that these characters would look quite cool together. So again, I did get carried away with the character in the front, so I was experimenting a little bit with seeing how that would work because I was relatively new to using watercolour pencils, and I still am. I don't use them very often, only now for line work purposes. But I found that I was really kind of liking how it was complementing each other and that I could still build up even though I've lined things. So that was the general idea that I was thinking, was maybe the ink that I'm using will bleed if I add more like colour or water to it, but it kind of just complemented each other, so I was pretty happy with it. I also was kind of concerned that the colour would get a little bit too hidden, I guess, because normally when you add a darker tone to something it makes the colour and shading and stuff that you've done prior to this look a little bit less prominent, I guess. So as you can see, once I was happy with the front of that character's face, I did move to the back character. So in the future, remember that it is quite important to start from the back and work your way up, just because you end up making the line work and just the whole image itself a lot neater, you know, no loose lines kind of thing. In this image I found adding like little lines and dots created kind of a cool depth to it. I guess, I'm not too sure if depth would be the right word, but basically it just kind of added like a bit of a dimension to it that I really liked. More of a creepy kind of vibe. I don't use this technique very often because I find that it kind of overpowers everything else in the image and sometimes the actual design gets kind of lost in it. But for this one I think it worked really well because of the fact that A Nightmare Before Christmas Halloween Town has that kind of vibe to it. It has that little bit of ominous grey tone throughout the whole town. This was a bit of an experimental piece for me, so don't mind the long pauses. I also did live stream this and I was asking for feedback on my stream. And because that I stream this, I do get a little bit nervous because we all know that drawings do get, like, they start off with that ugly stage where you don't really know what you're looking at. It's just kind of a bunch of scribbles. So I kind of wanted to show like, oh, actually this is gonna probably look okay. So I do find myself being a little bit funny and doing some things that I would normally not touch until later, just because I wanted to show that there's like an element of something that looks kind of done. Hence the front monster's eye. I feel like I sound like a broken record, but again, if you guys do have any questions about anything that I am doing in this video or any of my other videos, let me know. Just comment down below or tweet at me or Instagram me or anything. I am more than happy to let you guys know what I get up to. A huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. JCube, Scooby, Rob, Bribbles, Timothy, Blue, and Amarantha. I actually made a print of this in my store, so don't forget to check out my Redbubble store if you haven't already. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye!